Hello everyone, Marcy here. I'd like to welcome you to my channel. If you're new, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. And if you're returning and you're not new, welcome back, and I appreciate you hanging out with me today. Today we're going to wrap up our final session here in this Art Wellbeing Journal. I've done a little bit of work off camera, and as you can see, I went and found my third book ring. This was the challenge extended to me by Lara Fuller at Lara Fuller Earth and Art here on YouTube. And once again, I just want to say I really appreciate Lara extending me this opportunity to try art well-being, art for the purpose of just healing and being creative without any other real purpose or motive. I hate to say motive because that sounds like someone's being sneaky or dishonest, but you know, sometimes we create things because we want to sell them. Sometimes we create things for other people as gifts, but this is just art well-being is for yourself. So as I've mentioned in other videos, everything is linked down below. Her channel, my playlist for this series, and then in there you will find any kind of links that I've made to other channels or information about art well-being. What we're doing today is we are embellishing this journal, and I went ahead and pre-placed the things where I want them, and then after we're done doing the little bit of embellishing, we're going to flip through and add a few pieces of just random ephemera kinds of things, and then that will be it. At the very end, stay tuned for an announcement. I just have a little announcement about my filming schedule and things like that. Okay, so let's dive into this. Go ahead, get yourselves comfy, and then we'll get started. Here we are. So the first thing I want to add is this piece. I wanted to make a pocket, and this just kind of represents my enjoyment of traveling. Oh, maybe we'll cover this up with something. What could we cover that up with? I've got some pieces here that Lara gave me, scrapbook papers and things. Let's see, they're mostly in the purples. The purple range, but maybe one of those could work. I could use the dark section from that. So let's trim this down and see how big we want it. I've put all the pages in. Like I said, I got the third book ring. Everything should pretty much be in order. It's pretty fat. Let me trim this down on my paper trimmer. So I want to punch the edge of this with my lace edge punch, because I like that. So let's grab this piece here, and then I'm just folding it around the top just because it's easier. This is a pretty thick piece of cardstock, but there's really no other reason for me doing this other than it's easier to apply it when I just fold it around the edge. And then I will trim this off really fast. So how is everyone doing? What have you been doing all week and weekend? How's your summer so far? Kind of just getting started. If you've had kids in school, they haven't been out that long, I don't think. Just a couple weeks, maybe 3. I feel like it's been ages since I was here in the craft room with you, but it really hasn't been. Okay, I lost my glue. Here it is. It really hasn't been that long, but it just does feel like a little while since I was last here with you. I'm trying to think, have we done anything exciting? Not really. Same old, same old. Let's see, I better make sure I put that down the right direction. And get it up to the crease. Let me get my dry napkin here. And then we'll just tack down the back. And then I'm going to give it just a little thumb notch, you know, for pulling things in and out. There we go. Nice, nice. Get the glue off of there. And it's a little bit off right there. Do I care? I think I do care. Better move my pin before I lose it. I will care. If I have to stare at that for forever and just notice that it's off every time, that would probably drive me a little bonkers. Okay, so the center of this is right about here. I apologize if it feels like I'm rushing. I mean, I feel like I'm rushing. Maybe you don't feel that way, but I feel like I am, which always gets me all fumbly fingered. But I want to get this done and then place the ephemera and do the final flip through so that we have enough time, you know. Don't want to run out of time. Put that up there. So yeah, I think I have pretty much everything that I initially laid out that I wanted to put in here is in, so that's nice. There are a few things like maybe making tags or something off camera that will happen, but for the most part, I think this is pretty well completed, at least for now, but I can always go back and add favorite things, or you know how you just have those little random things that you just like, whether it's a bookmark or one of those cute little cards with sayings on them, or maybe a picture that a friend drew you or something. Those kinds of little things will still go in here. So there's that pocket that represents travel and travel. Those are, if you remember the list from the first video, that was on my list of things that make me happy. Okay, math does not make me happy. It's my struggle. I still haven't really taken the time to go through and notate anything. I don't know that I will, to be honest. Okay, so I have this little divider thing, and I think I want to wrap this doily around it. But then, because I still don't, I haven't used this page yet, I thought it might be kind of nice to just cut out a couple of these old advertisement kind of things and place it at least on one side. So let me grab out something to glue on. With these doilies, it usually works. Well, I mean, I can go through with my bottle and get all the, you know, go through and trace all the lace, but typically what people do is they kind of go over it with their glue stick, and sometimes they go over the area that they're going to glue to, and sometimes they just go over the doily, and we're just going to go where the spirit leads today. I'm just going to do one side at a time here. Maybe I'll just do a little bit of each just to make sure. And then I'm going to have to kind of punch those holes again. And that should do it. Ah! Look at all the glue that went through the doily there. I had this kind of lined up so the circles would be, there we go, centered, you know. Oh boy, there's a lot of glue there. Okay. Is that centered? It looks off. It looks like it's off. Okay, good enough. And yeah, there's a lot of glue chunks that, all these bits. Ugh. Let's see if we can wrap this around okay. Sorry, I'm talking very softly. See if we can get this wrapped around and glued down okay without too much of a mess. I really don't like messy. And all that glue from the other side is oozing through. Sorry, I just moved my whole mat. Crazy. Here we go. Let's get the dry one now. There's no good way to glue a doily, is there, really? And don't worry, all that purple dries clear in case you're worried about that. It won't show through forever. You can get all the big chunks off over here, and then I'm going to need a new napkin because this one's getting all junked up. And I guess that's its purpose. So Ugh. Okay, so this one isn't sticking as well, but I'm not going to worry about that too much because I'm going to glue, that's the side I'm going to glue stuff to, so it'll catch any areas that are sticking up. But this one, hold on, see if we can get that. Yeah, I had my craft get together on Friday night. I think I told you that in the last video, and even though they were very nice and they actually got it announced for me twice this time. Where's my next napkin? Here we go. It was just me and one other person. So, of course, it's summer. A lot of people have their summer plans, but anyway. And she has a grandson that she looks after, helps look after, and so she always leaves early. So we weren't together a super long time, but so it was an early return for me. I'm not sure, you know, where I wanted to kind of start this partly to have people to craft with once in a while, and also just to kind of build some unity in our church, since it was struggling, and then a group of us came over to kind of help with getting it back to life, and we had come from a different church, and then there's new people coming in, so I just really wanted a way to kind of help maybe develop some relationships between people. And I'm gonna say it's not really, I don't know, I just don't feel like it's really making a difference, or that I'm just feeling like people in our church just aren't that interested in connecting with each other, which is a shame, because that's really kind of the point. We're supposed to be there building up and encouraging each other, right? And I feel like a lot of them just enjoy coming and leaving, and they don't really say much to each other. And so anyway, I was missing a lot of my usual ladies, but even so, we only have like 6 anyway, so I cut the tip off of her toe. I'm very sorry about that. Unfortunate. I'm gonna glue this down. I don't know if I wanted just the boot or not, but I kind of like all the advertising around it, you know, around the edges. So decided to just cut out the whole ad, and it makes me happy. One thing I did not include in here was my love of Laura Ingalls Wilder when I was young. Read through that series several times. And I just didn't have a copy of that series to tear up, or I would have included a picture in here. Now, is there anything else I want to add, like to the other side? Well, I could cut out this part right here and put it on the other side. But yeah, if I had had a copy that I was willing to tear up, you know, like maybe from the thrift store or something, with Laura Ingalls, I would have definitely included a section for that, or, you know, included it somehow in this journal. So for now, my love of old things, this represents my love of old things, and it can also represent my fascination with the pioneers, you know. When I was younger and I didn't understand, you know, all of the timing of history and stuff, I remember asking my mom and my aunt one time if they grew up in covered wagons and you know, about their time on the prairie, which there wasn't one, because first of all, they're in Idaho. There is a prairie up in Idaho somewhere. My grandpa had many enterprises, but one of them was cattle or ranching, horses, that kind of thing. And also, he had a gold mine. Sounds so weird to say. But there was a time when people could go apply to work a section of Idaho if there was gold, and you had to go work it for 2 weeks out of the year to keep your claim. And so I guess they would go up there and basically camp for 2 weeks so my grandpa could keep his claim on this mine, but it was really owned by the state, I think, or maybe it was federal land. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure where it was. But anyway, they had to go through the prairie, which I still don't know where that is, to get up to this gold mine. And so they would go up there in the summers and camp for a couple weeks. And honestly, my grandpa was a very busy person. He basically, my grandma died when my mom was 6, and so he wound up getting married a few years later, but it was essentially to keep an eye on the kids, and she really didn't do that, but my grandpa never really followed up on that, but he was always busy with his raising quarter horses, and he had a gas station, and he had this gold mine, and he had, I don't know what all else he was doing, but he was a busy dude. Had a lot of his fingers in a lot of pies, and I think for my mom and her 2 sisters, they're the 3 youngest of 8, and everyone else was quite a bit older. They were all grown up by the time my mom and her 2 sisters came along. This has got, oh well, it's going in my journal, so it doesn't have to be super perfect, but anyway. But anyway, so he just married this lady partly to have someone to look after his young children. And she basically did not do that. And I think just for my mom and her sisters, it was nice for them to have their dad's undivided attention for 2 weeks out of the year while they would go up camping. She talks sometimes about, sometimes he would make pancakes, and sometimes he would make homemade noodles, which I more recently learned was actually my maternal grandmother's recipe, not his mother's recipe. So anyway, great-grandma, my maternal great-grandma, her recipe from Germany. So apparently my grandpa made the other side of the family's noodle recipe. Okay, so I'm trying to decide. I got out this stamp, and I really like what it says. When I found that stamp, I was like, this is so me. I can't even believe how me that is. So I do want to include it in here. My question is do I want it right here? I have another one. I could do this one too. I just found this one at a thrift store not too long ago. It's kind of messy, isn't it? And do I want to stamp it on something else is the question of the day. Do I? Just stamp it on something it will show up on. I have a scrap. It's not very colorful, but I could back the scrap on something. I'm mostly just stamping in black ink. So, scoot that out of the way. It's just kind of unifying, and I don't feel like finding... Oh, that turned out very nicely. I don't feel like finding lots of, different ink colors or whatever. Okay, I don't have my decal edge scissors, so I'm going to use my ruler. How are we doing on time here? I kind of gave myself like a certain amount of time to do this part and a certain amount of time to do the next part. Okay. There we go. I like this though. It's very clever. And I did have, let's grab one of these little vellum pieces that Lara sent me. Let's see what will show up on there and what makes... I've got that one. I wish this green was bigger. I mean, I could make it bigger. Oh, actually, that is big enough right there. Okay. Nice. And now let me throw a little ink around the edge, even though I'm technically not really distressing in this journal much. Sometimes, you know, you just want the edge to stand out, so that's what we're doing. Not a lot. And then, where's my big scissors? We are going to attempt to cut in a straight line. Everyone hold your fingers, cross your fingers, hold your breath. We did it. Okay. I had that little tab. I wanted it to go on something, but now I don't remember what. Okay, so let's just tack this down on here. So I do have a few random pieces I intended to make tags and stuff out of, so I'll have to do that later, another time. On my own. Here we go. Uh-oh. There we go. In the spirit of allowing myself to make mistakes, I'll just drop it with the gluey side down. Scoot over a bit. There we go. This may wrinkle up. I'm not sure. We'll find out, won't we? Oh, if I want the flap, I guess we'll be keeping the flap open. So let's do this. Because if I fold it down, it'll just cover up the quote. Okay. And honestly, it doesn't matter that much to me whether it stays open or shut, truthfully. Okay. Let's stick this back in and go on to the next thing. I know you can't see what I'm doing. I'm pretty sure you can. Okay. Let's go on to the next part. And I don't have anything to tuck in there quite yet. Well, maybe when we stuff in the ephemera. This one, I had this bag. We can't forget this cute, pretty bag. So, I have some space to cover up there. And then it had just this random scrap in there that I liked. So, that's what we will do. Oh, I think I totally skipped over. I have some lace I wanted to place, and I think I completely skip the spot where that was going to go. Also, I think so that this doesn't wrinkle, I'm going to use double-sided tape, which I do still have out from some other time. Now this particular brand is just the one you can find at the Dollar Tree. It seems to work okay. It's not as heavy duty as some, but it, you know, for a basic thing like this, it's fine. I'm just going to put 3 down. Do it like that, and then I'm going to run 1 across the top edge so that it doesn't lift when we're pulling things in and out. And it's running across the top here. Let's pull up these. So I can, oops, I can lay that down okay. Well, trying to, oh, well, it's stuck now. Okay. Ah, there we go, there we go. See a little bit of that plastic still under there, but I guess it'll be all right. Okay, let's try to square this up a bit. And we'll just lay that right in the middle. And then we'll set this back inside. And go on to the next one. Okay, so the next thing, I've got another piece here I did not show you before. Uh-oh, I just lost a button. I'll have to glue that back on. Okay, so I pulled this out because I was going through random things. This is the part of the box for my favorite perfume, which I absolutely adore. It's called Summer Hill. 2 words, by Crabtree and Evelyn. I love this stuff. I used to wear it a lot when my kids, let's see, how do I want to do this? I had to do it like that. Okay, so when my kids were younger, and then I couldn't find it for a long time because it's Crabtree and Evelyn, so there's only, you kind of have to like find the right place that sells it, right? So I didn't wear it for a super long time, and then my husband ordered it for me off of Amazon. But I have to include this because I love the box. The boxes are gorgeous. Look at them. I don't know why I'm cutting that out. What am I doing? Seriously. I'm not sure that I want this in there. Don't know why I did that. Why did I do that? Because I think I'm going to do this. Yay, what a save. A little thumb notch in there again. Anyway, my husband found it, and my younger daughter, I remember when I put it on, she all of a sudden, she like perked up and was like, oh yeah, like, wow, that's what my mom smells like. I remember that now. It was kind of cute when she did that. So I'm going to, I was wondering if I should use that ribbon along the top edge. This is just decorating. I'm adding a pocket to an envelope. And I had talked about using these little stamped definitions, you know, and I used the first two now I've added, but they're kind of close together towards the beginning of the book. So even though this is happy and it should be in the happy category, the other two are in that category. So I thought this perfume makes me happy, so I'll just stick it up there. Oh, you know what? I'm going to use the tape again so it doesn't buckle the paper. And I want to do something with this, but I don't know what. If I hadn't done the notch, I could have done this. I don't know. I'm sure something will come to me. So anyway, my favorite perfume, and I love the boxes. So I have a couple of the boxes here that I've just kind of smashed down. Didn't know what I would use them for exactly, but now I can use the lid in something. And I want to grab one of these. Lara sent me a bunch of cute stickers, and I haven't used any yet. So let's see if I can find one that I want to use. See, this looks kind of like the pretty flowers on there, doesn't it? Ooh, and a purple butterfly. So there's all these colors in here. Oh, my butterfly's going upside down, but oh well. There's another mushroom. Oh, there's this butterfly too. Oh. And I have things to put on the other side as well. I have space to decorate, that is. I might put one of these on the other side because it's the flap of the envelope. Let's see, we've got some artists. Got some other little bits, some tabs. Ooh, a pumpkin. And these guys. Okay. I think, honestly, I'm going to use this. And I like how the butterflies, I like these sideways ones because they always look like they're flying in, but I'm going to end up having to trim part of him, I think. Or I can put this over here and then he could be flying in. There, let's do that. I hate to decimate a butterfly. That just seems wrong. Okay, so let's stick this in here. I think I have one more thing, maybe two, to place. Okay, I got that off, and now we're gonna place our pretty butterfly as it comes flying in to land on the flower. There we go. That's pretty. Just wondering, what if I put that across the middle? Would that just look weird? A little bit. Okay. I mean, if I had something to actually put right in the middle as an embellishment, that would look pretty cool, but I don't at the moment. Okay, so on this side, I thought it would be nice to put one of these seals, which I probably should have also, probably should have gone ahead and cut this out and taken the backing off while I was doing the other one, but you know, should have thought of that. Okay, so here we go. Here's this. And this might actually be the right spot for this. Down here, up there, where do I want it? I want a pretty butterfly up there, I think. This pretty purple one looks nice. Let's put that there. And let's see, do butterflies like mushrooms? I have no idea. Not sure that butterflies are into mushrooms, so I'm not going to do that. And I could always get out one of my flower stickers later, but I think I want this right here on the flaps. So let's do this here really fast. Wish me luck. Oh, well, I already have that sentiment. If I didn't have that there, I could have stamped this and put it in the middle of the pocket. But then again, it would have covered up all my pretties. You know, can you say overthinking? Classic overthinking. Story of my life. There's no stamp for that though. Okay, there's this. Aww. I really do like that stamp a lot. When I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, this explains me to the T. I want to make everything around me beautiful. Now, my definition of beautiful may not always be someone else's definition of beautiful, but that can't be helped. I can't help that they're wrong. Just kidding. Okay, that looks nice. I wonder if I can scoot this over a bit. Nah, we'll just leave it. We'll just leave it. Okay, was there another spot? I think there was. Okay, so I got this page figured out, and I just kind of collaged a bunch of stuff onto it. I can put things on the prongs and just, you know, have them hang off of here. I liked that. On the back was supposed to be, where did it go? It's supposed to be my beautiful organza bag. I lost it. I wonder if I lost it when I moved it over here. Uh-oh. Hey, I've lost it. Well, I'll tell you what, I might find it again. If I do, we'll just go ahead and glue. So let's go back through and try to place some of this ephemera, and also I need to find, here's the page where I wanted to glue that lace. It was right here and I didn't do it. So let's glue the lace. I'll reattach my button I've knocked off. Shame on me. And it's this mauve-y color. And then we'll go through and place all of the ephemera. So here's the front. We'll take a moment to re-glue our button, which was right there. This stuff does wood and all kinds of stuff. Wood, fabric, paper. Okay, and we're just gonna trust that it's gonna lay here nicely and not move. Okay, so that was the cover. This is page Lara made. And then the inside cover. So this was the section for Happy. And she made me a little tag in there. So this was a page I made. Keep this in a safe place, like kind of like indicating that I would want this to stay special. This I was holding in place and tacking it down until it dried. But I made this page on the back of this, and I put, these are scraps of fabric from either one outfit or two. I think it was one. This was the top and these were the little bottoms that my mom made me when I was probably 6 or 7. I had forgotten about it, but I was going through my scraps for something else, my fabric scraps, and then I saw these. I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot I had these. So these are actual cute scraps from one of my favorite outfits when I was a child. This folds down right at the moment. It's got the list of things that make me happy that I made in that first video, and then a quote about unselfish and noble actions are the most radiant pages in the biography of souls. We've read that before. And then I have this picture here, Alice in Wonderland. There's a Wilbur page. There was a Narnia page. And those, that's part of why I stuck the quote in here, because it's talking about reading and pages. And so they're just tucked in there. I've got one of these old paper clips, like, I can't remember. They call them the owl paper clip. I'm not sure they had a specific name. I just called it a paper clip, but this is what I was fascinated by these as a kid again, and I had ordered these a while back from somebody. So I was like, well, I loved those paper clips, so I thought they were great. Let's put in, it's not red, I know. Let's put that in there, and maybe math did not make me happy. We will not be putting in math. But I know these are pink, and my page is kind of red and blue, but whatever. And then this page from an old message pad, those can go in there. And then I put this quote or definition for favorite. I put that there. And then we talked about this just now, these book pages. You know what? I think I'm going to stand up so I can make sure I'm in the camera frame while I do this for you. It's better than me trying to half sit in my chair to stare through the camera. Here we go. All right, so book pages, one of the things that made me happy. Here's our page where we did the leaves, and that represents twinkling leaves, crunching in the leaves on a fall afternoon. And stick that back in there. That was a fun page, wasn't it? And then I need to tuck something in there, so we'll do a recipe card. Here we go. Sewing pattern. I just took the envelope and turned it into a big thing, a big pocket. I don't think any of my pieces here are quite tall enough. I have this. It's just from a notepad, but I don't know. It's so narrow. I don't know that I want that in there, but later on I can find something. Here's that page that represents those giant coloring things from when I was a kid. So here's the one we just did. Oh, you know what? This one should go, because it's kind of got that fall look to it if it's not too wide. Ooh. However, it covers up my title. Okay, I'll leave it. I'll leave it. Haha, no pun intended at all. Okay, travel. Let's do one of these pretty note cards she sent me. I'm leaning towards this one. So let's stick that in there. And let's see. I was wondering if I should put all of these cards on bookbinding, my current passion, as you know. If they would fit, they might be too wide. Those are too wide, but you know what? This can fit right here. So now I have those two in there. I might put a paper clip here. I have a tiny one. This cute little Tim Holtzy kind. For now, that can just sit there. It's not very big or noticeable. Map. Here's my beginnings page. And struggles with math. And the one we just did, which is just pretty. Okay, struggles with math. And I actually have this little bookmark thing that one of my teachery friends had in her stash, so she gave me a few. This will be a place if I want to write. I can write things down. Here's the celebration category. So I had taken these two book pages from a children's reader and I sewed them together to make a pocket, and in here I just put the note from Lara that she sent me. It's in there kind of upside down because I wanted to be able to grab the folded edge instead of the open edge, and I think that'll help it stay nicer in there. Sandwiches and things representing parties from when I was a child. Then I have this in here for celebrating like holidays and Christmas. I added a pocket to the back. It had that sticky spot where the price tag was, and so I went ahead and added a pocket over the top of it. I took a big piece of just clear packing tape and taped over the sticky spot so that these things can slide in and out. And there's my, uh-oh, I forgot to glue the bottom. I think. Maybe I didn't. I feel like I did. Okay, I'm gonna try to stick some tape under there. See if I can make this work. This could be really... Okay. Let me take this out. So I laid the tape to this side so I know that I'd get it in the right spot, but now we gotta peel off the backing. I'm wondering if it just didn't stick because of that packing tape under there. Oops, but this is not wanting to stick either. Hey man, you're ruining my demo. Come on, Pocket. I'm guessing the glue didn't hold because of that tape being under there. Okay, see, so you can always fix it. I got the double-sided tape there to kind of help hold it, and then I'm just gonna run another bead of glue along. And cross your fingers, hold your breath. Hope for the best. There we go. Okay, so back to where I had my pocket here. Hold that back up. Okay, and I want the bookbinding info in there. I think that would look nice. It's not really a celebration of anything, but it's a nice pocket. It needs to hold something, and they need a home. Okay, so this is our Christmas page we did. And in here, I could always put some stuff if I want. Don't have anything to go in there right now, but Christmas and all the photography and stuff. And then for now, this is the fabric collage. I'm just going to leave it. I don't really have anything I want to put over it for now. Here's love. We're in the love section. So here we go. This is where I just glued my page. And also, so this has some cooking imagery on it. Nope, too wide. Everything here is really wide. I just have a bunch of wide ephemera. So nothing's going to go in that pocket as of yet. Here's another bigger pocket. So I can put my other math flashcard, because remember, I can never remember what 9 times 8 and 9 times 7 are. So they're both in here now to help me remember. And that needed a home. And then I have this one, also August. It's kind of wide. It can go in there, and I can turn it into something later. And how about this pretty pink piece of note paper? Just there. And I have things to journal on later. So those are going in that pocket. And then I have this here. So let's tack this one, because you know I like to grow my herbs. And I just did a random fold in the middle of the page. No rhyme or reason to it. Here's the bubble loaf. Here's another one of these pretty cards that she gave me. Postcards. For now, I'm just going to leave this music the way it is. Here's our bag. I could stuff this in here too, because it's tall enough. There we go. Unity section. And here's another journal card Lara made me. So in here, oh look, will this fit? Yay! Oh, right side up though. Oh, look at that. That fits in there perfectly. Then she had these cute little random pieces of just different things, and I think they're just fun. So I'm going to tuck one of those in here. Guess that doesn't, let me do, it kind of covers up the picture a lot. So I want this one, it looks more like a postcard. Oh, that postcard actually might have been one from my stash. I'm not sure. Anyway, there we go. Okay, that all goes very nicely together. But look, we can stuff these guys in here. So I have them for later. Here's our sewing representing unity. We did that together last week. And I still have the instructions that go in here, but I did glue the flap down, so I guess I don't need to add them. And let's see, does our zipper work? That was my goal. Without tearing up the page. I might have to My idea was that the zipper would go up and down, but it might not. Okay, it doesn't. Oh well. It was a great idea though. Now that it's all glued together, it doesn't really work very well. And hymn pages for unity and church, which I do want to do more to address the unity issue that has to do with faith. And thank you, Peggy, for the verse. Psalm 133, because I was trying to remember it and quote it last time, and she knew the verse, so she gave me the reference, and I want to write it down and put it either in the pocket or the envelope or something to represent unity. And then I have this here so I can attach things as I want to, and then this is just collage to cover the ugly inside, and then I put a piece of paper here. This is part of Lara's stuff that she sent to me, and it was covering up the back, had like a label that had been ripped off. So, and then here is the back cover, also part of Lara's creation. There's a little pocket here. I'm gonna slide that in there for the moment. And I also think I'm going to go back to this envelope and slide these things in there as well, so that I know that I have them to create with. I'm not really worrying about putting a closure on here, but I could put a Velcro dot or something that would hold that together. So I might decide to go back and do that. We'll see. But that, guys, is the art well-being journal, what I have so far, and it has really been an adventure working on this. Oh, the last and final touch was this pretty ribbon she sent me, and I thoroughly meant to go through and straighten this out, iron it, and get the wrinkles out before I thoroughly intended to do that before I filmed the video, but I didn't. But I am wanting it as the closure for this journal. Also, as you know, I really like the shade of pink, this raspberry color. So, whoops, come here. That is going to just, I decided I wanted to use it to just tie it shut. And there you have it, my art well-being journal. There you go, front, back, side. And it is kind of thick. These book rings were about 2¼ inch, or yeah, 2¼ inches, and they are just right. I don't think I'm going to add any more to it, because I really do feel like it's kind of complete, other than maybe jotting down my thoughts, or like that Bible verse reference, or that kind of thing. I think I'd like to do a little bit more in the love category, maybe do another spread or something. But for the most part, I would say this is finished and completely, again, unlike something that I might try to do if she hadn't encouraged me to do so, challenged me to do so. So now for my announcement. It's nothing terrible or awful. I have a lot of projects around my house that just need to be done this summer. There's been a lot that I have just flat out ignored. There's also cleaning projects and different things that I just need to pay attention to. And honestly, when I'm in the creative zone, which I kind of am enjoying being there so I can do all these videos, but when I'm there, my head is not on the practical side of things. It's over here on the creative side, but the more practical aspects of what I need to do, I have just kind of let those slide. So anyway, I've just got some big projects that I would like to finish and just take care of this summer and get them out of my hair. And so because of that, I'm going to scale back my upload schedule back to Wednesdays only. If you'll recall, I've been once a week uploading for forever since I started this channel. And then in order to kind of encourage a little bit faster growth, I wanted to expand to 2 and then eventually 3 times a week. Right now, as you know, it's been 2 times a week since last October. And that's fine, but it's a very short window between Wednesday and Friday uploads. And if I don't have something, that means that I'm spending all day Thursday, quick create, film, edit, and in between Wednesday and Friday. I take the upload days off, the days that these videos publish. I just take that day off and go do errands or things that I need to take care of and get out of the craft room. So for the summer, at least, until I get my big projects done, I'm scaling back to just 1 upload a week, Wednesdays at 6 a.m. my time, Mountain Standard Time. So that's what I wanted to let you know, is that there won't be any more Friday videos. So last week's was the final Friday upload for a while. I just wanted to make sure that we got this series finished and completed before I went back to just one upload a week. I did want to tell you so that you're not looking this Friday because there won't be a video, but that gives me a little more time to work on my other areas of life that just need a little bit of attention right now. Okay, so now on to the quote of the day. I wanted to just go over this statement again as the quote of the day. It's nothing super fancy, but I did think it has some good wisdom to it. Creativity is allowing yourself to make mistakes. Art is knowing which ones to keep. It's really hard for me to make mistakes. I don't like to make mistakes. Mistakes cost time. Sometimes they're messy. Usually it's someone else's mistake and I feel like I'm cleaning it up. I think that goes along with being a mother and a wife sometimes. But allow yourself to make mistakes. And I included this in here partly because it's a creative project, but also I need to remind myself that it's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes are part of growing and learning. As a person who has tendencies towards perfectionism and criticism, especially of myself, telling myself that it's okay to make mistakes is a really huge step towards maturity, emotional maturity for me. And I just have to remind myself of that constantly. I've really been trying to work on that lately and just be aware, a little more self-aware. If you as well struggle with trying to always do everything right, always do everything perfect, you know, like 90% of the world doesn't worry about making mistakes. They don't get all hung up on it. And I'm preaching to myself here as much as I'm talking to you guys. Mistakes are how we learn, and it does not an evaluation of your self-worth as an individual. You are okay. You are good. You're good enough just the way you are. And part of that is just, if you can believe that for yourself, then when other people are critical of you or what you're doing, it doesn't sting as deep and you can take it more constructively instead of feeling like you're a horrible human being when you mess up. You know, I'll kick myself 57 ways from Sunday just because I make a mistake. And some mistakes are big. Like I made a recent one recently with my shop, huge mistake, and I just had to fall all over myself apologizing. But the lady was extremely gracious and just said, you know, it's okay, mistakes happen. And I'm like, man, I wish I could just be like, oh well, mistakes happen and move on, but I have a hard time bouncing back from that. So it's okay to make mistakes. Allow yourself to make them. That's why I love junk journaling, because like they say, there's really no mistake with a junk journal. You mess up, you do something wrong, you do something different, you put your pages on upside down, or you sew in your signature or whatever. You can always just turn it around and fix it. Like I just did with that pocket. I just went ahead and went back and added some double-sided tape, and hopefully it'll stick this time. It's not worth beating myself up over that. So please let yourself make mistakes. It's okay. And if art is the only place where you can do that right now comfortably, then start with your art. Your mistakes are what make you you. They're giving you growth and opportunity, and be gracious to the people around you when they screw up, because sometimes that self-criticism pours over into how you relate to those around you and how you interact with them, and all you can see are the mistakes and the frustrations, but that's not where you want to live, you know? So go ahead, go make some mistakes today, and while you do that, go be inspired and do something creative today. I will talk to you next week. No Friday video for the time being. Bye-bye now.